We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Big Derek Brown making the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On second down, here's Mixon. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Throwing now is Allen. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. Not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. It's big Trey Flowers getting in there that time for the sack. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
Give him 16 yards on the play. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Now 3rd down.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll move the chains. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now it's Wilson. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Jonnu Smith, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bucs have taken a first-quarter lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. He's going to air one out. Almost able to intercept it.
Josh Allen.
That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Allen. This short throw caught by Goddard. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
It's a gain of
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
First down, Panthers.
On first down, Allen. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
39-yard line.
Looking to throw again on second down. Allen. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he returns it to the end zone. A fumble recovery touchdown for the Bucs.
Buccaneers.
Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Zerline good with a PAT, and that'll make the score 14-0. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That'll be taken about a yard deep, and he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Josh Jones. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. Three tight ends are out there. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
And Allen going to be intercepted for the third time. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake. But I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Now he's forced out left. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 25 yards that time. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
3 yards the gain there, second down.
4-yard line.
They go play action with Wilson. This will be caught inside the 10. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. They'll give it to Mixon, and they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Brings up second and goal.
They'll try again on second and goal after going backwards to the 12. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14. Panthers, nothing.
Another try for Mixon. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. So now things get interesting on 3rd and goal from the 1.
This almost becomes a Darwinian call, doesn't it? Almost survival of the fittest here. I know we can go all cliche. I'll go ahead and do it.
And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Andrew Beck, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. And when the smaller guy can't power it across the goal line, Charles, sometimes you need to go with a fullback. They did. It worked.
Makes the score.
What's that thing about force and mass? How's that?
Oh, yeah. Force equals mass times acceleration.
Oh, that's big-time stuff. That's from the same guy the apple dropped on his head, right?
Now this will make it into the end zone, and he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
Their own 25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. A man who played college football here in the Sunshine State. It's USF's Marlon Mack. And the Buccaneer defense for the 2nd straight play, flexing its muscle by forcing a loss. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. And the box with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Allen. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on 4th. They do go for it. Here's Allen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards, and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side.
Carolina.
Throwing on 1st down is Allen. And a quick throw here, that's complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there.
Out of bounds at the 30.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Allen to throw once more. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. He's got it for a Panther touchdown.
Complete to
Deebo Samuel with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Panthers, they're able to draw a bit closer. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7.
The score, Buccaneers 21, Panthers 7.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will make it into the end zone. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. But that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
Now Wilson on first down. Over the middle to Smith. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. Here's a first down throw that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
6-yard line.
Play action. It's Wilson. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Gotta go, in and out, let's go.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. Eluding the pressure right. And this will be incomplete.
On the keeper.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
On 3rd down, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And out will come the offense as they take over.
16-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 25-yard line.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. And that is incomplete. And this one too low.
Number 81, incomplete. It's 3rd down and 1 yard.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Throwing again on second down. Allen. And he fires one incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time he fell incomplete. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Now Allen again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
That's the reason we ball for. Circle round twice for the...
Mike 58, right there. Go. Hey.
They go play action now. Wilson looking for the out route, and he's got more. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
At the 46-yard line.
To throw again on second down. Wilson, it's caught on the right side at Smith. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
7-yard line.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He's going to look deep for more. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. And just before the half ends, the prayer is answered. Defensively, a disaster there.
I know often we're surprised when this actually works. I mean, the excitement level goes way up, but maybe we shouldn't be, because I know as a defender, you've got to play the ball in this situation, but you can't interfere with the receiver because, remember, it's a spot foul, and it'd be 1st and goal if it happens in the end zone, and you don't want to give up that play. And that little bit of hesitancy often works really well for offensive guys.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. A final shot before half for Allen. He's going to fire one deep over the middle, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Panthers going to get the football first, trailing here as well as we resume play in this second half. And the half will begin with a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. He's going to let it go again. And now here is another interception. Picked off right around the 43. Well, that one is going to sting. First play of the 3rd quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this 3rd quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
Harrison on the tackle.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 23-yard line.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And it's up and good.
Makes the score Buccaneers 35, Panthers 7. Greg Zuerlein sent to
now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
Their own 25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
1st down.
Operating from the gun, Allen. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
11 yards there, 1st down.
Panthers.
Again, they'll throw with Allen. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Josh Jones. The 20. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Taken in the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. Allen now on 1st down. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
On 3rd and long, it's Allen taking a shot for Samuel. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A big 3rd down play there for the Panthers. 46 yards.
First down.
1st down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And his guys are able to strike for 6.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Still comfortably on top, 3rd quarter as they start things here with a 1st and 10. Here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive, 17 yards and a 1st down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Mike Edwards picks it off. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Go, go, go. 52's the Mike. Watch Mike, watch Mike. Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some. Here we go, here we go.
So after the INT, it's Allen. And now here is another interception. Picked off inside the 10. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
He's going to look deep for Moore. And got his man complete. The 30. Past the 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And this offense continues to pour it on. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
5-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Deebo Samuel was the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down.
And 10 yards to go.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Throwing is Allen on third. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Emmanuel Ogbah able to record his 5th sack of the season. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. Play action. Now Wilson. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off at the 35. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Good starting position for the Panthers as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Lines up and lets it go for Samuel. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a 3rd down.
Allen going to try and throw on 3rd down. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
I'll tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Allen going to go on 4th down. Throws right side, and that's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Allen to throw once more. And it'll be intercepted. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And a short return to the 6-yard line. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
He's got a man, complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That goes for a gain of 31.
37-yard line.
Mixon with a first down carry. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Out of the gun. Here's Wilson.
6-yard line.
Flush to his right. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Check tight, check tight, check tight. 58 for Mike, 58, 58 for Mike.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1.
58 for Mike. Hey, check. 58, right over there, yeah. Mike.
Here's a run with Mixon. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. 3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. Mixon trying to punch it in. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
They run for it with Mixon. And he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. Mixon unable to find the goal line on 4th down. And the Panthers defense able to deliver the goal line stand. Starting the drive with a give to Mack. And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
And give him a lot of credit there, but even more credit to the guys up front. In that situation, you know it's going to be a stacked defensive front. And to be able to gain that much yardage, that's a big win for the guys on offense.
Yeah, they were just about standing on their own goal line, so to get a few yards there, a great start. Now we'll see what 2nd down brings. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And they're going to get the 1st down here across the 15-yard line.
He was brought down.
Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
1st down, Carolina.
And they take a knee.
Today's final score.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And The defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So